An annual celebration of arguably the best motion pictures to come out of the calendar year. Money, success, fame, glamour, where criticism is cutthroat and the right dress is top priority. The Academy Awards. I'm sure many of you will be tuning in or watching it streamed online next Sunday on March 7th. So, in preparation for that glorious day, I'd like to introduce you to a little game that hasn't quite coined an original name yet, so we'll call it the Oscar Prediction Game. Now, put down the tequila, although adaptations of that persuasion are absolutely encouraged. The first thing you will need is a list of the 2010 Oscar nominees. You can either print out a list of the nominations or write it yourself. Here's where you have a few options. Either you can decide to stick to the awards that receive the most chatter, Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, etc., or, as I prefer, attempt to predict every Oscar winner, even branching out to the scientific and technical awards if you so choose. The way that the game works is that for every category, you rank the nominees in the order that you think they are most likely to win. For example, this year the Best Picture category has 10 nominees, so I would number each film from 1 to 10 according to my own opinion. When watching the awards or catching up on who won afterwards, the number you have designated to each nominee is the number of points you will accumulate. When the awards are over, you must tally up these points, and the person with the lowest score wins. This can become incredibly competitive. The tricky part in allocating your rankings comes in establishing a balance between your opinion and your opinion about other people's opinions. For example, you may have loved Matt Damon in Invictus. It may have somehow been your favourite film and performance of the whole year. But let's be honest, Christoph Waltz has the monopoly on that award. To some people, that will be obvious just from looking at the list. The only film nominated in that category that I did see was Inglourious Basterds, but I don't even feel the need to see the others. I just have a feeling. However, I also have evidence. Christoph has already won 25 awards for the part, including Best Actor at Cannes, and the BAFTAs on Sunday were the final indication of his probable win at the Oscars. The way that the Academy works is generally to award the best performances, although one might say that Waltz has competition in this category in Christopher Plummer, who in his 80th year has just received his first nomination. The Academy loves to give out "oh, but he deserves it" awards. There may be something in the merit of research before making your predictions, but I wouldn't rely too heavily on it. Let's not forget the 2005 disaster of Crash winning Best Picture. What? And there are familiar trends in the awards, such as the Best Director's film also receiving the Best Picture award. However, there are still cases where this isn't true. 2005, Oppenheimer. The more exciting way to go about this is to rely on your gut. Here are my own thoughts on the Best Picture nominees. Let's establish a few things. A Serious Man, District 9, and An Education won't win. The nominations are respectful nods to 3 great films, but honestly act as filler in this 10-spot category. Tarantino won't win. I adore Inglourious Basterds, but it's more likely to walk away with an award for the writing than Best Picture, and even in the screenplay category it has some tough competition. Now we have Precious, which has garnered a lot of attention and many people who feel passionate about the story, but I just don't see it winning. I also hated that the trailer needed to include endorsements, especially coming from Tyler Perry, and I just wasn't interested in the film. I felt similarly about The Blind Side, which has been pretty much established as Sandra Bullock's comeback. Hard to believe she also starred in All About Steve this year, right? I realised that most of her films that I've enjoyed are guilty pleasures. Miss Congeniality, Practical Magic, and obviously Speed. So it's weird for me to accept her receiving recognition as a real actress. Anyway, I heard it's good, but meh. I don't want to discredit Up. The first 10 minutes are wonderful, and the film is really great. Up in the Air is an example of practically flawless filmmaking, and typical of director Jason Reitman. It's smooth, topical, it exploits George Clooney. I loved it. I would be happy to see it rewarded, but I don't think it will be. The real competition here seems to be between 2 films directed by ex-husband and wife, James Cameron and Kathryn Bigelow, Avatar and The Hurt Locker. The juxtaposition between them is amazing. The Hurt Locker received a limited release and a slow-building following, and Avatar is literally the most successful film of all time. It really could go either way. Voting could go against James Cameron due to the film being overwhelmingly dominant, or the fact that the story and acting weren't overly impressive. People may sway towards Bigelow in support of independent filmmaking and something that is closer to being non-commercial. Or it could be that Avatar just wins it. I'm always one for rooting for the underdog, and despite seeing Avatar snubbed at big prizes at the BAFTAs, I put my money on it to win Best Picture. Lest we forget, James Cameron's previous box office record, Titanic, was also nominated for many BAFTAs, didn't win any, and went on to take home 11 Oscars. So here are my final rankings for the Best Picture category, and the rest of my predictions will be posted in the sidebar and on the Rocket Boom blog. Please feel free to post your own predictions in the comments below or even in a video response. We'll have to wait until March 7th to see how I did and compare scores. I'm Molly, and this is Rocket Boom.